And welcome to Tally Benchwarmers on this very cold winter day here in Tallahassee. This is definitely your unofficial and definitely non-expert take on the latest in local sports here in this region. This week, we are again backbenching college football, maybe for the last time in a little bit. FSU basketball and FAMU basketball, and maybe even a little bit of NFL news this week. So for the next 30 minutes, this WFSU team is going to concentrate on FSU and FAMU. Now it's time to introduce our bench. Hey there, Adrian Andrews. Welcome.
What's going on?
Peace, brother. Peace, man. Actually, that looked like that was the number of scores that Notre Dame was going to have the college football game too, but then they did a little better. Also, Eric Carter. How you doing there? You're sitting there in front of Doak. You're ready for this, huh?
Yeah, but it doesn't, depict the actual weather that we're getting right now.
That is, yeah. Actually, right now at my house, it is clouds kind of like that as I'm looking out the windows, but not to be a little later. Hey, Jennifer Tappan, our CFO. Jennifer is all decked out in FSU attire.
Well, a hat, yes.
Well, a hat.
My Lady Knowles.
Yeah, Lady Knowles.
Lady Knowles.
Hey, I am wearing, we referenced the weather. I'm wearing my Florida Storms shirt because, hey, we're recording this on Tuesday morning in Tallahassee. And what's supposed to happen here in just a few hours, guys? Are we going to get snow? Or are we going to get what's going to happen?
Snow.
That's what they claim.
Snowpocalypse, is that or whatever?
Snowpocalyptic.
That's right. The storm of the century. I'm wearing my TLH cap just in case the wind like blows me away. I keep the cap on and people know that I'm from Tallahassee.
They know where to return you.
Yeah. And then nobody will want to return me, right? Yeah. Hey, and I'm David Mullins. I'm the leader of this, I guess, group of non-expert experts on sports. So, first off, we had a big football game in Atlanta on Monday night. And who picked Ohio State to win last night?
I think I had, yeah.
I picked Ohio
I had the little leprechauns.
I was pulling for Notre Dame.
I wanted Notre Dame to win, but after seeing Ohio State the past few weeks, nobody can stop them. They're just incredible. And their little freshman running back that's just amazing. Like, it's going to be a long 4 years trying to stop him if he makes it 4 years without going to the draft.
Yeah, he's a tank. Howard, not Howard. What's his name? What is his?
That running back?
Yeah.
It's like Junkie, or I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah. And it was so funny. Well, not funny, but it was like, I thought that game was going to be an amazing
defensive battle.
After that first almost 10-minute drive by Notre Dame to score. And we were all on a chat going, man, this might be a game.
Yeah.
And then Ohio State just kind of
pulled Ohio State.
Yeah. We're talking about Riley Leonard, basically carrying the team. He literally with his legs.
Well, he was their leading rusher.
The leading rusher.
Notre Dame only had like 55 yards of rushing.
Yeah. So
for the game.
Easy.
Yeah.
I thought they had a much better rushing attack than that. But yeah, after that first, I thought for sure that we were going to see like, okay, this is Notre Dame's game to win.
Yeah.
Turned out to be the complete opposite.
I think what Notre Dame did is they went away too much from what that first drive was. That first drive was balanced. They had a lot of good passing. They had a lot of good passing. They ran a lot of routes to the outside that stretched Ohio State's defense. But then they started trying to pass over the middle, and it was just like,
why change?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Ohio State just kind of adjusted too.
Yeah.
I think they did, but Notre Dame.
Watching the halftime interviews with the Notre Dame coach, like, my heart just broke for him. You could just tell he was defeated and in shock.
He looked like a deer in the headlights.
He looked terrified. He had no idea what to do to stop this from happening. Like it was just
I remember that look all year long.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
That.
just look across to the FSU home sideline. Yeah, it was brutal, but it's amazing. We think that we see even the FSU team, on the field, and we got fast players, we got quick players, we got big players, but then you see these teams that get to the national championship, and again, just at another level of speed and bigness, right?
Yeah.
That's where we need to get to.
That's that Big Ten football. Big Ten football is
something
called Big Ten football for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, talk about balanced attack. Last night, Ohio State had 231 yards passing and 214 yards rushing.
Yeah.
That's as balanced as you can get.
Yeah. At one point, the quarterback had completed 15 of 15 passes in a row, and I was just like, "How? Like, whoa!"
Yeah.
And they were wide
incredible.
open passes. They weren't even like they were challenged. They were wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Poor Notre Dame. It made me, I was watching Notre Dame, reminded me of when we played Oregon. We had 2 undefeated seasons in a row, and we went in to play Oregon for the national championship and just got stomped out of nowhere. I was like, I know those feelings.
And Notre Dame played Alabama about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that this kind of had that feeling because Notre Dame was really very highly touted. That was the Mantu
That was the year that we should have actually been playing Alabama in the national championship
2013.
game.
But yeah, that's right. That was kind of that controversy. I remember that.
Yep. That was the year that Jimbo decided to not run the ball in the second half and let NC State come back and beat us.
Man, Eric holds grudges. Can you tell me? Like 11 years ago, he remembers what specific plays probably from that NC State game that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You don't go up. You're up by 13 points and you lose by 3.
Yeah. So, but back to the national championship game, Ohio State again. I think we saw them. They just the way they manhandled Texas to back in the semifinals. It was surprising that that Notre Dame did as well in that first drive. I didn't. That was a surprise to me as far as that.
That was a perfect script.
Yeah,
that was a perfect script.
Yeah. But it was a script that unfortunately Notre Dame's writers forgot to finish.
I mean, I didn't think Riley Leonard should have been toting the rock that much. I mean, honestly, I would have put a quarterback in that situation. What he had like 10 carries or so in the first drive alone.
Yeah, it was and
I will never, push for my quarterback to get hit that many times because honestly, he's lucky he even finished the game because the guy was like winded. You can tell
he was gassed. He was like he finished that first drive.
He was gassed.
He was. You gotta think about sucking air.
He had a solid game.
He did.
2 touchdowns, over 200 yards. I think he went over 250 passing. But I think you have to, if they was able to establish the run game. I mean, outside of him, I mean, he shouldn't be your leading rusher. Maybe that would have been a little bit different. But
they tried too much power run. They didn't do enough sweeps.
Yeah,
because I think they could have actually gotten to the outside a couple of times. Their running back cut it in instead of taking it all the way to the sideline and forcing them to force you out of bounds instead of sometimes you put your foot in the ground and you can catch a gap, but stretch it out a little further. You didn't even get close enough to the the sideline before you kind of gave up on the play, and they were too fast on the back end. There was too much help.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of not having enough, we ought to talk about FSU football, right? We we didn't even sniff the ACC championship this year, and certainly couldn't even get a whiff of what was the national championship team. But hey, we've got a next season coming up, right? Next season coming up. What's did y'all see the news that no spring game this year?
Stadium renovations.
That's the official. Stadium renovations is the official reason, right? But did anybody hear any rumors about why maybe that was not going to do the spring game?
Well, our producer kind of said something along the lines that Norvell was scared he might find a way to lose.
Oh, man.
Which if anybody could, it would be him.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I'm telling you that
Well, you gotta
hurt.
think about it. He found a way to lose to an FCS school in Doak.
Okay. Enough about last season, and yeah, the stadium renovations are taking place. We know, so no spring game,
Spring game,
but
man.
we continue to be right there at the top in the recruiting cycle, right? In this, are we in the top 10 still?
Yeah.
Think so, right?
I
We
believe
were
so,
number
yes.
7 last time I looked.
Yeah,
we're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I don't know. I mean, it's today's commits and stuff, and how that works is totally weird. I mean, they can drop out any second.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
We'll see when the season.
It's pro football.
Yeah.
See when the season starts. Yeah. But the focus for everybody is not going to necessarily be, I'm talking about outside of the football team, not going to necessarily be the football team playing well. It's going to be making sure that stadium is ready to host Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They're gonna come with a bunch of
lot of work still
yahoos.
to happen.
They're gonna come with a bunch of yahoos.
So
High
hey,
tide. High tide.
so any 2025 projections on who's going to win that game right now? We're sitting in here the middle of January. Who's going to win?
Alabama.
First game, Alabama coming into the Doak.
I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to say this is going to be a statement win for Norvell. And I don't back Coach Norvell, but I say he's going to find a way to pull it out because they're going to have 3 drives like that Notre Dame first drive.
Wow.
This is, how much faith I have in that?
Yes,
0.
I know.
0.
Oregon's
faith.
championships, Oregon's championship numbers.
High tide.
I have great faith. I'm with Eric, and we're recording this on the 21st of January. So,
we're going to see how this ages.
We'll have to see how this ages. We'll keep this. We will keep this in on YouTube, and we'll go back to reference it in about 8 months or so. So, but FAMU has got some news happening on the football side, don't they?
Yeah.
They added Cedric Williams.
Let's see.
And Kevin Maurice as offensive assistants. Is that am I reading that correctly? I'm not familiar enough with either one of them, but
yeah, looks here. Yeah, Williams replaces former FAMU assistant head coach.
Yeah,
but yeah, I
beautiful.
We're losing our strength guy. I seen him post his goodbye little post, man, to the school. He was a likable guy, man. He was our strength guy.
Strength and conditioning.
Yeah, strength and conditioning guy. I mean, he was solid. He had a lot to do with some of our players now in the league getting their build, and for the league. And so it's, so we'll have to replace him. But yeah, offensive coordinator, offensive line coach Joseph Henry. He's been replaced. So while Maurice is in for Marcus Whittam, who held the same position. So yeah, we got a new running backs coach and a new recruiting coordinator. So
both from North Carolina Central, both the HBCU school.
Yeah.
So, but and forgive me, are they in the SWAC, or are they in a different conference in the SWAC?
North Carolina Central is in the MEAC.
Yeah, I thought they stayed in the MEAC.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So at least getting some somewhat highly touted coaches, it seems like, to replace who we had, and FAMU has got maybe not as many challenges to overcome last year to this year as the Knowles, but both football teams are going to be starting this year with hope and maybe and less optimism than hope at this point.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. The other item before we pivot to talking about what was an exciting weekend for basketball in this town, what is who watched the NFL playoffs over the weekend? I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I watched the referees bail out Pat Mahomes. That's what I saw. I mean,
I saw Pat Mahomes vying for his nomination for best Oscar in a dramatic performance. That's what I saw.
He was going for the Tony also.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
yeah.
Are you sure it's dramatic, or was that maybe a comedy though too?
And
I mean, comedy for us, but I think his goal is drama.
Now,
the officials for that game was going for best supporting cast.
so are y'all really behind the whole idea that this all is rigged? Do y'all really think that the NFL can be rigged?
I feel like that
the
the
referees have a
refs
lot to do with that.
have a lot to do with it. And because you see what they do for Patrick Mahomes, and then if you were watching the Lions game and their quarterback threw an interception and switched to defense, obviously because they threw an interception, and he got laid out hard, and there was no flags.
Yeah.
No
but
flags.
he's not a quarterback. I mean, I saw that tackle. It was not because he was a quarterback. I think it was a hit to the chin, wasn't it?
Well, you talk about the roughing the passer, the first one they called.
I missed that
Where
one.
when the guy came up the middle and then hit him. Basically they were face to face.
No, I was talking about when Goff was trying to tackle on the interception. I think is that the one you're talking about, Jen?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That should have been a flag. That should have been a flag because even if he was playing defense or whatever, you're still not supposed to hit a quarterback that's defenseless. I mean, he wasn't doing anything. You think Jared Goff could really tackle come on.
All he's gonna do is get in the way and slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, but the way he was tackled, I mean, that was a big, huge tackle. That was a really hard hit, and it should have been a flag.
It was a block, but
yeah,
I'm not sure is that true that even if a quarterback is in that position of trying to tackle someone, that the quarterback still has some safety protections.
It is. I asked the same thing because I was watching the game and the announcers were talking about it, and they were like, that should have been a flag. And I'm like, but he was playing defense. So at that point, that kind of protection gets taken away, right? And then I did some research and no matter what, if a quarterback's in a game, they have a level of protection against them. So I mean,
I think that ruins
if they can protect Patrick Mahomes to the level that they protect Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, if you're doing a comparison,
they should be able to protect all quarterbacks at that same level, and they don't, and that's.
You gotta remember, one quarterback in the league has to be able to have the ability to have the Brady rule.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like if it's the poster child, usually they take care of him, But I think the whole quarterback protection thing sort of ruins the league. It ruins the game, honestly.
I think so too.
I think that probably, especially with the slide thing,
the slide thing is, and Mahomes takes advantage of that more than anybody else. More than anybody else.
They have to look at that next season and say, okay, well, when can a quarterback slide? Because I think if you give them a good amount of time to react, give the defense amount of time to react, then it makes sense. But in Mahomes going down at probably
the last the defender's already in the air.
Yeah, it's like close together, and
then the one flag that they called on him when he was going out of bounds, and the defender barely pushed him, and he did this flail thing, and then fell, and it was just. And then they threw a flag, and I was like, that was the fakest crap I've ever come on.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs win, and that's that now they're going to go and host Buffalo, which, boy, I tell you, that Buffalo Ravens game was good. That was
Yeah.
an exciting game.
I was pulling for Lamar, man, but Lamar has to,
Yeah.
first of all, he has to take care of the ball. He has a problem with that in the playoffs, for whatever reason. Like in the postseason, he starts kind of trying to do a little too much. But
Yeah, that interception, that was I know that he threw the ball thinking the receiver is going to take a different route, and it was just like a perfect.
Well, and the fumble too. So I mean,
the fumble, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously he sort of, redeemed himself and was able to, put together some solid drives that really put them back into, tying up the game. But
Listen,
yeah, we had some butterfingers.
That 2-point conversion that Andrews dropped, that was tough.
Oh.
That was unlike Mark Andrews. I don't know what.
Yeah, that was painful to watch. I felt so like that that happened, and I looked at my husband. I said, I would hate to be that guy.
The
He is
irony
officially that guy.
Yeah, but then everybody watched that
Yes,
guy.
everybody watched.
But the
I
irony of
love
those
Josh
three
Allen. I
quarterbacks,
love
those,
Josh
yeah,
Allen.
I'm a long time back in the day Buffalo Bills fan, so I hold an affinity for them. But I did want to see Lamar, reach that next level. But the crazy thing about it is when you think about Lamar, Mahomes, and Allen beats Lamar most of the time. Lamar beats Mahomes most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a cycle.
It is.
It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other game was Philly Rams, right?
Yeah.
And our boy Verse. Oh man, Jared played a
Gotta
game.
love him.
Yeah.
He had a big day.
Yeah.
He had a huge game. He was being booed the whole time, which was hilarious because he was playing up to it too.
Yeah.
The announcers were having a field day with him. It was just fun to watch him play. And our beloved coach Norvell was there to support his players. So
yeah,
maybe
he had a
Verse
lot of
can
free
blame
time.
that.
Norvell, maybe he was
had a
trying
lot
to
of free time. They
recruit
weren't playing in a
some
national
guys
championship game.
back from the NFL or something.
Yeah. He's like, hey guys, can you come back, please? I know you want to go for your second degree. We can give you some eligibility.
Yeah.
So who picked the Commanders? Who really thought the Commanders would beat Detroit, though? I mean,
no.
I didn't think they would beat them the way they did.
Yeah.
That was a dominating performance.
Yeah.
That was from start to finish.
Yeah, I'm so happy for them. I want to see them make it to the Super Bowl. I'm so happy for them. Like they're not my team that I want to win, but it would be really cool to watch them win. Kind of like Notre Dame. Like it'd be really cool to watch a team like that win, even though
I was been rooting for a Lions and Bills Super Bowl. So now that the Washington knocked off the Lions, I like to see Washington beat Philly. And I mean, I tell you what, I'm not going to bet against Jaden Daniels.
No.
Unless he's playing Travis. I mean, he can't beat him.
You can't beat Travis, yeah. Travis ain't playing right now.
Wouldn't that be cool to see I don't know if it'd be cool to see the Jets in the Super Bowl. I got to rethink that.
Jets in the Super Bowl.
Maybe Travis makes it to another team, and then we can talk.
I feel like the Jets might be a lot better with Jordan Travis without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
love Aaron Rodgers.
We'll see. We got a little
Legend,
bit more.
but
we got a couple more weeks to talk about the pro football, but let's talk about something locally that was fun. I was at both of the men's and women's FSU games over the weekend, and let me tell you, the men I think are for real. They put a beat down on Tech, and this is coming after the brawl, the pit brawl at the end of the pit game.
I think that
Did
hyped them up.
See the video of that?
No, I didn't get to see the video of that.
Yeah, it was. I think the pit coach was in the middle of it too. It was all because it was an obvious win. I think in the final second, Malik Ewan put down a big dunk, just kind of as an exclamation point, and the pit players and coach did not like that, so they came after him as the team was walking off the court.
Wah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. When you're at home, you get the leeway to do a little extra stuff. You don't do now. You wouldn't do something like that on the road because that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
When you're at home, you make that type of a statement at home. Look, it's my house. I can do what I want to do in my house.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I am too. I am too. I mean, and what a bunch of losers, the Pitt team. What a bunch
Hi,
of
babies.
but then they came back and they manhandled Georgia Tech. It was a fun game to see, and
Yeah.
it wasn't like Jameer Watkins was kind of leading the way, which he normally does. Taylor Bowen led scoring
Yeah.
with 20 points. Ewan had a double.
Mm-hmm.
And they were putting down. They had guys, a lot of guys that scored during that game, which was great. It was good to see. And then Hamilton was able to throw in his bench,
Yeah.
his
The
bench
deep portion,
players. Yeah,
of the
yeah,
bench.
the deep portion of the bench. That's kind of there's like the bench, then there's the deep portion of the bench, and then way over here is us, right?
No, you
I
gotta go a
was
little
gonna
further.
say.
You gotta go a little further. You gotta go
A
further.
little further, yeah.
We're
It's like
further down and up, I
my,
think.
my
Down
here's
and
my
up.
arm is all the way out here. But
Yeah.
it was good. It's good to see those guys get a little court time too. And they were putting down some points too. It was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they travel to the West Coast next,
The
and you saw what
cow.
happened to the ladies when they did that long West Coast trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cal and Stanford coming
Yeah.
up this week, so we'll hope. Let's hope that they get some rest on the plane somehow.
Absolutely.
And still middle of the pack in the conference, 4-3, 13-5 overall for the season. But I tell you, I think that it looks to me, I've thought it all season long. Although Jameer Watkins is a phenomenal player, but I think however Malik Ewan goes is the way the team goes, and he really
Yeah.
seems like he's got his
He's in focus now. I think he's
he's got his
focused now.
D1. It's not JUCO
Yeah.
anymore. This is D1
Right.
basketball. And he is. I think that that dunk is maybe something too. It kind of puts that exclamation point on, hey boys, I'm here to play.
But that's good. We needed that.
And you hear the other players talk about they really are so talking about him being such a special player. So I hope that he plays up to his potential. He has so far.
Indeed.
And then our ladies who are still undefeated at home on a 2-game win streak themselves here. They put a beat down on Clemson last week, and that was fun to see. First quarter, Clemson was up like I think 5 or 6 at the end of the first quarter, and it didn't look like we were even there to play. But the ladies just turned it around and just dominated Clemson, beat them by like 15 points. It was like a 20.
Ran him off the court.
Ran off course like from first quarter to the end of the game, it was like a 27-point swing or something, like 25-point swing. And then on Sunday, I always like to see when any FSU team beats the Hurricanes.
That's a beautiful thing. The
We beat
Canes
the
and the
Lady
Gators.
Canes, and record fashion for them, by the way.
Beat them by 20.
It was a program high of 18 threes in the game.
Yeah, it was just
they were just launching them, and I think they was 18 for 36, so they were 50% from 3-point shooting. And then
our girl
Michaela Timpson set a program record with her 42nd double. And and everybody knew it when as soon as she scored that 10th point, the arena went crazy. Because everybody realized, hey, that's her record, 42nd double. So it was kind of fun.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And our girl Latson, she was the ACC Player of the Week for the 18th time.
Wow.
Yeah. She's the leading scorer in the country too.
And you got to think about it also, like you said, a record-breaking game. She hit 5 for 5 from 3 points. From 3-pointers out there. It was like every time she touched the ball, she put it in the air. It was in the rim.
Uh-huh. And 30 points. They've got a special team too. They've got some role players that when they're on, we're unstoppable. and they can play. They don't always play. They can play some lockdown defense too. And there were several times in Sunday's game that happened. They're playing North Carolina this week
in Chapel Hill.
in Chapel Hill.
That's always a rough one for us going up there.
Yeah.
Men and women.
Men or women, yeah. Any team, any team in the country, typically going to Chapel Hill to play. So, but they are undefeated at home, 5-2 in the ACC. The ladies are really rocking it. So, I don't think that the only bad thing about the season now is I don't think they have. I think they have a lot more away games than home games for the rest of the season. So, the fans here won't get a chance to enjoy it as much.
Yeah, we were front loaded on a lot of home games.
And then we got 2 senior all-stars that we won't have next year. So let's hope that this is kind of a special year for them. OMG is a senior, as is KK. So they're going to lose some real strength from that team after this year. But across town, we had good news also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
FAMU.
More 2-game win streaks in town.
Yeah. Women's, men's, who? That's great.
That's good, and they needed it. Both the FAMU men and women, they needed those wins. They've been struggling, men especially, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I went to when they played Arkansas, Pine Bluff. I went to that game. You'll be surprised, man. O'Neal he didn't score a single point that game.
Really?
Yeah. That was surprising.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a time where the coach literally just took him out and he just had him coming off the bench, man. But Brown, he turned it around against this the latest game, Mississippi Valley.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley.
He scored 10 points in that game. But
they played some defense in that game. They played some real good defense in that game.
Yeah, and that was a romp. That was 88-60. I mean, a 28-point win.
Second half.
Yeah. And we're still talking about we're going to have to figure out how to get Shaq on this podcast. When we're going to feature the FAMU men's game, team somehow.
Yeah.
We'll have to adjust all of our cameras to be able to fit him and us in at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think FAMU might be out. I think it's a little too far down on the charts as far as trying to make it. But I mean, it's still good to just get wins on your belt, just improve for the next year. This is still
absolutely
first year, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, getting that win, it was the largest margin of victory. I mean, this year for them.
Yeah. What I liked about the men's schedule this year, they didn't back away from any games. They played a lot of heavy games. I mean, their next game is against TCU in Fort Worth. That's not an easy game.
Yeah.
So, they're supposed to be deep into conference play, but they're still playing, heavy non-conference schedule. So I like that for them.
That's true. I mean, women's now, they have I think they have probably a better shot, but they're still a little they catch up. But yeah, men's basketball 2-3 in the SWAC. Women's is 3-2.
Right.
So
and they both have in talking about how they didn't back down from their schedule. I mean, their overall schedule. You look at their overall schedule, like, good Lord, good. But
they get a home game.
They
didn't get a home game for the first 5 weeks.
And traveling to SMU and TCU and then some of these
Rice
schools. So Rice, so conference play for everybody now. So pulling for good things to happen for all 4 teams.
Yeah,
during the winter, as Tally becomes a winter wonderland here this week.
Snowpocalyptic 2025.
Snowball fights everywhere.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be my snowman is gonna be about this tall.
That's a tallest
giant
snowman in Tallahassee in probably 30 years since 1989.
Anything else we want to talk about before we say so long and go get on our winter clothes?
Well, I just want to say, I mean, I already got my winter clothes on. Hopefully, I get to see you guys in the office soon. I mean, I'm just
the reporter is working in the office. The three of us are kind of working this remote schedule in advance of the snow. And what we may have to do is go and rescue Adrian from the newsroom. We'll bring our snow plow and some shovels and dig the drifting snow away from the door.
I got a snow blower.
We do have some blow up mattresses stored there for just in case, and some cans of Chef Boyardee, bud.
Hey, wait a second. Is that a drop in for maybe a sponsors that Chef Boyardee? I'll bring the can
Chef
up.
Boyardee blow up mattresses
and blow up mattresses too. Coleman.
Yeah.
Coleman blow up mattresses.
Coleman.
Yes.
Maybe we
Coleman
can get
blow
them.
up mattresses.
Either one or both of them to sponsor this crazy podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to say so long to you guys. This has been another. How long have we gone? We've been talking a while, guys. I don't know how long we talked on this podcast, but we try to keep it fun. We did fun things today. Adrian's ready for the winter. I'm ready. This is, if this podcast thing goes away, I've got this. I'm going to be a baggage handler at the Tallahassee airport. That's got the.
It's an international airport too.
International airport. So
yes, super busy.
We want to encourage the folks from Chef Boyardee and Coleman to call us and contact us about sponsorship. And we want to thank everybody, all 12 of you, for watching and listening to us on the podcast this week. Thanks for listening. It's time to say goodbye, Lucy. That's an old 1950s TV reference to the Lucy's show.
Adrian, in case
I love Lucy's.
Yeah.
I was
Stay warm this week. Thanks to our producer, Jason Acuna, and we'll see you next time.
Stay safe and warm.
Bye, guys.
See you guys later.